All set. All right, good evening. It is 7:05, and I would like to start our budget hearing meeting. First, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Allegiance to the flag of the United
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it
for which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call trustees. All board members are present virtually, and Mr. Coffin has joined us by audio only. Opportunity for the public to be heard. Mr. McCree, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we did. We received one question regarding the budget, and Francis is going to answer that question when we get in. It was about giving more detail given to the increased BOE services for public information. That is a communications person that we've discussed 1 day a week. That person, they asked also, what is that going to do? And they asked if the salary was still capped on that. That's a COSER, so there is no cap on the salary. So we do get that expense piece paid back to us for what we spend, and we share that person with other districts. That person is a communications person. They're going to handle our website, our social media presence, as well as helping us with emergency communication, such as we've had with COVID. They've been helping with all of our information at this time too already. So that's kind of what they'll be doing for us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, why don't we begin our budget hearing?
All right. All right. I'll have Francis begin.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. So our budget vote is finally going to be June 9th. All done by absentee ballots, and the ballots are going to be due 5 p.m. on the 9th. The location will be the middle school foyer.
So items on the school ballot are the 2021 school budget vote and the propositions and the 3 board of trustees, along with the public library budget vote and the election of library board of trustees.
So here's the budget facts. We've kind of gone over these the last couple of months. The budget increase is $616,883, which is about 2.4%. Our tax levy is $570,907, which is a 3.1% increase. And the state aid increase also includes the emergency 100K project that we had at the elementary school for the ceiling in the small gym. So that aid comes back the following year. So there's almost a $97,000 increase, but almost half of that is from the emergency project, and then the vast majority of the rest of that is expense-based aid coming back. With the foundation aid was a little bit more than $9,000, so not a lot there. So what we're going to do today is show you the 3-part budget. The budget's broken down into 3 separate parts. We have the program budget, administrative budget, and the capital budget. Whoop. So in our program budget, so the program budget is everything that has to do with direct instruction with the students, but it also encompasses transporting the students. It's benefits for the teachers and retired staff that would be working with our students. So it comes up to about 77% of our budget. And so we break them down into categories. So classroom teaching, there's a budget to budget change of $42,599, almost $7.6 million. Programs for students.
I just want to talk about the classroom teaching. That is also, remember, we are discussing adding another teacher to be able to handle the excess of students in our elementary school, to be able to keep our class sizes low, and to be able to address all of our needs for our children.
The program for students with disabilities, this is the second year in a row that it has gone down. It's going down $44,771. So Mrs. Jones and her team are doing a great job at keeping those costs down and stable. Occupational education's gone up about $16,000 from the previous year. Adult education and summer school, slight turn down, about $850, but so basically staying flat. The instructional media is there's an increase of $23,576. Pupil services, there's an increase there of $81,385,000. There's also we're hoping to add a staff in that, social worker.
And that would address the social emotional needs of our students, especially now with COVID. We know that we're going to have actually more need for that person even prior to what we expected. That would be to the health of our students.
Interscholastic athletics, $743 increase year to year. Transporting of students. So we have a $104,518 increase from year to year. We have added runs, and we also have that private contract. So we built in for the possibility of having to have private contracts like we did this year, which was a little over $100,000 just for one contract to transport a student. Community service stays flat. Whoop, got a couple more there. Employee benefits. So employee benefits, it's going to be $6,744,578. That's a $269,700 increase. It's about average. The interfund transfers, just $7,000 increase on interfund transfers, and the total program budget is $20,194,294, which is just under $500,000 budget change. So the administrative budget is all of the costs for the superintendent, the business office, principals, including administration and supervision of curriculum and instruction, benefits of current and retired administrative and clerical staff, and operation and maintenance staff, budgeting and finance, insurance costs go in there, and the compliance with federal, state, and local laws and regulations. So that is just a touch over 9% of the total budget, and it is a 5.89% increase from the 2019-20 budget. And here are the main categories of the administrative budget. So the Board of Education is going up $200 budget year. $22,000 in expenses for the Board of Education. Central Business and Administration is an increase of $34,580. It's a $785,000 part of our budget. Other centralized costs, $287,912. It's a $10,474 increase.
Francis, if I may about that, that's also where our insurance is, correct?
Yes.
So in our insurance too, we also know that we had to increase our cybersecurity after we did an investigation into our cybersecurity insurance with all of the different threats that are going on. So that's where we're seeing, and our insurance costs from year to year increase, but that is one aspect that we had to look into this year as well.
Yep. Supervision of supervision principals and their staffs. It's going down actually a little bit, $1,000. The benefits is, again, you're seeing the increase in benefits, which is pretty typical. $655,269. It's an $86,876 increase. And the total administrative budget for 2021 is $2,355,265, or a $131,000 increase. And the last part of the three-part budget is the capital budget. All the expenses attributed to the operating and maintenance of the district facilities. Debt service is built into this, and payments for capital projects and capital expenditures. This becomes 13.35% of the total budget, and it's 0.4% decrease from the 19-20 budget. So our operations and maintenance of the plant, there is a $31,907 budget to budget change. 1.55 million is what we're looking to expend on that. Debt service for facilities. So the debt service is dropping. It's going down $60,497. Going from 1.35 to 1.295 million. It's at a healthy right now at 1.295 million, but you don't want that to drop off too much more, which is why we want to get that capital project done and closed out so we can bond and start to get aid. One nice piece is through all of this, we're looking for a shining light, is interest rates are horrendous, so our bond is going to be very affordable this time. So not going to be a big interest payment. Other capital expenses, just a $3,800 increase budget to budget. The fringe benefits for the folks in operations, there's a $10,745 difference increase. 416,000 for that. Interfund transfers in the capital, there aren't any, and the total capital budget is $3,472,556, which is a decrease of $14,031. Our bus proposition. So we have a multi-year plan for replacing the buses. We get 10 to 12 years out of the buses. So again, we are looking to purchase one 65-passenger bus and two 28-passenger buses. We will auction off two of the buses that are coming off, and we get about 60% aid back in our transportation aid for the purchase of those buses.
So the absentee ballots, as we know today, our vendor told us that they were delivered to our mail house and went out in the mail. We, along with a few other school districts, good number, went out today in the mail as well through that same vendor. Luckily, we still had our envelopes, unlike other districts where they ran out of envelopes for some different vendors. That went out in the mail. They should be receiving them by Wednesday. That went out in first-class business reply mail, so it should not take that long for those to get there. If anyone needs a ballot or is concerned that they're not going to get a ballot, they can contact the district office. We will be delivering them to homes, dependent on when we receive the request for them. We have a group of staff that will be able to get them to families, so they'll be able to have them in time to be able to either mail and or put off in the ballot drop box that will be out in front of the district office on June 8th and 9th between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The newsletter and budget notice cannot go out until after we have our budget hearing. Today we received some news that our vendor had a little bit of a snafu, and nothing goes as it's supposed to lately. So we are getting those. So we're able to get them to our mail house by Wednesday, which will mean they'll be going out late to our community. We are going to be posting those publicly tonight on our website. Tomorrow morning, they're set to go out to all our families and also sent out to go to community organizations, asking them to share our budget newsletters as well on social media and everywhere else. So we are trying to do a big push to get that out prior to the newsletter going. It's a very interesting year because typically you do your budget hearing, you do your newsletter and notice, and then you have a few days before your vote. Well, right now our vote is mixed in between all of those. So people will get them, and then our vote is the 9th, but they actually have the ability to vote. The majority of people have the ability to vote starting on Tuesday or Wednesday. So the time frame is just much different than typically goes on, which can cause some confusion, but we're trying to make the best of what we have. And so for more information, it can be found on our website. For any specific questions, you can call 765-6313. I believe that's you. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep. And any questions on your assessment, you can call the town assessors, and they're listed here. Any questions?
I have a question. I don't know, Francis or Frank, whoever wants to be the prognosticator. To the extent that you can predict what's going to happen this summer with summer school and the how things are going to change for us, how confident are you that those budget numbers under program will be in the ballpark?
I'm actually pretty confident that we're going to stay where we are. We've been looking at all the different options for summer school, and we're looking at for our students because if it's going to be online through BOCES,
It's hard to hear you.
those are kids that we want to make sure that we get and we have an understanding of. And that's the same expenditure that we were looking at beginning anyways. There's no increase in that. We're able to carry over our Title I funds over through the summer. So we'll have some of those Title I funds to be able to get our needs for our students as well. So we're looking at different ways that we can maximize what we're able to do and carry over. Given next year, I'm hoping for the boom that, could be expected. Could we have an increase in some of our program? I believe so. I think most of our increase is going to come from facilities, more so than program, because all the different things that we have to do in order to ensure the safety of our students when they come in. So facilities and equipment are going to definitely be the issues that we have to look into and where we could see an increase in expenditure.
Okay.
Francis, am I kind of on the money there, or would you say?
Yep, that's definitely.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it. Thanks.
I just thought it was impressive that I think I read somewhere that the average amount that goes towards programming, which is kind of why schools exist, is 76%, and we've managed to have a higher percentage of our total budget goes towards programming than other districts average, and that's to me a very impressive thing, and I'm sure it's part of the goal of everything, but it speaks to the management. I'm just glad to see it. So thank you for making that happen.
Thank you.
I've got a question. This is a little on the side. State aid. I've heard you guys discuss the possibility of there being a cut in state aid and the look backs that'll come forward. What are you anticipating at this point?
So right now, I don't believe there is going to be any impact in this budget cycle for April or May and any look back. So what we're being told is you're not going to see any reduction in your current budget. There can be a decrease up to, I'm guessing, up to 5% in the next one, but it all depends on federal money coming in and all the different monies that will come, and depending on what your phases look like. I believe wholeheartedly that the governor does not want to touch education. I don't believe we want to go back to 2007, 2008, where we were having major cuts in the middle of the year, where you get a cut in November. If we were to get a 10% reduction, we do believe that we have the ability to make sure that's covered without any impact to program. If we get more than a 10% reduction, we're going to have to definitely look at that in a different light. But I'm on the positive side that we won't hit 10%. I think if we're going to see a cutback, it'll be about 5% for the district. I think 21-22, as I've been saying all along, is really where we need to look at. Your TRS, your ERS rates are going to go up. You're definitely going to see lower state aid, because then that's where they'll be able to have the fluctuation and really know what came in during the 2021 year. So I think that's where we have to really make sure that any decisions we make now we can focus towards expense-based aid or making sure that we know what we're going to be able to get in 21, 22 and control over our revenues as best as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Any more questions? Well, Francis, thank you so very much once again for starting this budget process early, for keeping everyone updated, and for communicating all of every step along the way. It's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so we need to move into executive session to discuss personnel matter. May I have a motion to do that?
So
I'll
moved.
move it.
Okay, second?
Second then.
All right, second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, Francis.
Bye, Francis.
Bye, Francis.
Yeah. Bye, Jess.
Bye, Jess. Bye, PJ.
Bye, PJ.
Waiting for. I'm
I
watching.
can't believe it. This all started in a flood, the budget. And now it's a pandemic. It's like, yeah, we are going through all the plagues.
Yep.
And it's like, we thought the flood was bad.